Hey, what's up everybody? It's Vids, and we're back for some more Gwent, and today we're playing more of the Battle Rush seasonal event, which is an alternate game mode in which we have just 8 seconds to take our turn and 15 seconds to choose our cards in between rounds. That means this event is all about speed. And today's deck is for what is usually the hardest faction in this event, but with the new cards, that's no longer the case. And because you can finish matches so quickly in this event, this is also the best way to get your Salvine event rewards as quickly as possible. So let's go give it a look. So today we'll be playing a Nilfgaard Imperial formation deck because in the past, Nilfgaard has been the hardest faction to use in this event since most of their most powerful cards require a lot of clicks to use, which in this event, in which we have so little time to take our turn, is usually a bad thing. But now that we have recently reworked soldiers who can deal damage automatically at the end of our turn without requiring additional clicks, and also cultists who can get boosts without requiring additional clicks, those are some efficient ways for us to get additional value without requiring a bunch of time to take our turns, which is great for this event. And after using Bear Cultists last time, we'll continue the Salvine theme a little bit more today, this time using Eclipse Cultists instead. When it comes to the Cultists, we're of course building around the Eternal Eclipse scenario, which basically just means that when we play Cultists, we are getting a bunch of boosts. Need to make sure that we have at least 2 gold Cultists to trigger this scenario, and then after that, we can proceed to play whatever Cultists we have, whether they be bronze or gold. Actually, bronze are better in that case. Our boosts scale more rapidly in that situation. So in some cases, you actually want to get this down in round 1. That way, your infusions that you get, turning people into cultists and making those cultists gain boosts, that can carry over from one round to the next. So that is the way that you're scoring a bunch of boosts on your side. And so naturally, that means that we are using the cultists that start out in our deck with Prophet, and also Master Ceremonies, who will turn a random gold unit in our deck that is not already a cultist into a cultist, so keep an eye out for what card that might end up being. And then we also have the starting bronze cultist in the Eternal Eclipse Deacon, which, technically speaking, if you can play this before you use your scenario to get a few more cultists, then that is kind of nice, give you a little more boosting potential. And also the Initiate to give us some damage and potentially destroy one of our opponent's cards, and in doing so, bring it back over to our side with a whole bunch of boosts based on how many of the cultists we control. So that's the cultist side of things, but then we also have soldiers, and their thing is more damage-oriented, and so for them, we are looking at a bunch of bronze cards, like the Ard Feainn Cavalry for damage at the end of our turn, the Ard Feainn Crossbowman for damage at the end of our turn, and takes a little more time to set up, but the Ard Feainn Heavy Cavalry, in this case, will eventually deal damage to our opponents. So all those things can give us damage. And then once we have at least one soldier on the board of that variety, we could, say, use Daerlan Soldier to thin all of the copies out from our deck, giving us a decent point slam and allowing us to go a little bit wide as well. And then once we've used all of our leader ability charges, which admittedly are a little bit tough to use in this event because this does require a lot of clicks, once you do that, that means that you will get out Affan, who will use his order ability to boost any soldiers we have that have armor, and we have potential to have a lot of soldiers with armor, given how most of our soldiers start with armor or can get armor if we have them in a flanking position in the range row, and your leader ability can give you even more armor on most of those soldiers. So that is another way to get additional value. In the case of Affan, a little bit of boosting, but for the most part, the soldiers are all about the damage. When it comes to making all that stuff work together, though, just bear in mind that we have some tutors with things like Matta and Avallac'h that can get a little tricky because in some cases they are competing to play or draw into the same card. So in general, since our highest card is going to be the Eternal Eclipse, our scenario, if you don't have this in hand, then you're going to want to use Avallac'h first to play that, so that Avallac'h doesn't run out of artifacts to use. And only once you have already made sure that you have something for Avallac'h to use, then you use Matta to draw into whatever your next highest card is. However, because one of our other high cards is Affan, you also probably want to use your leader ability kind of aggressively in round 1 so that you don't risk accidentally drawing into Affan using Matta, and then you're basically bricking what would usually be a card that is coming out of your deck for free. So that's another thing. Basically, play Affan early with your leader ability, and try to get your scenario / Avallac'h out early as well before you use Matta. Basically, delay Matta as much as possible for the most part. And then outside of that, we also have Treason for a little bit of extra damage, especially if our opponent is loading up on some big cards right next to each other. That can be nice at times. And since we might end up going quite wide either with our Daerlan Soldiers or with all the cultists, especially if we get some of the death blows from the initiates, then we can be going pretty wide, so Bone Talisman is a good finisher for us. And that's generally the idea there. So again, big picture, damage with soldiers, boost with cultists, just be mindful of what is trying to summon or draw into what, because there's some competing priorities there, especially with Matta, so might need to delay Matta a little bit there as well. Oh, also, Garrison for more soldier synergies. So, in particular, if you don't have a Daerlan Soldier, and you already have some other soldier on the board, then this is a great way to thin out every single Daerlan Soldier from your deck, which is, again, great way of getting a lot of quick value and going wide to set up potentially a finisher like Bone Talisman, or if you have the armor, Affan. But as a heads up, because there are so many cards that we're trying to thin out from our deck that we might accidentally draw into, this is definitely not a beginner's deck. So let's go see it in action. Alright, so going up against Skellige here, and we'll go first. Okay, but we have a lot of Daerlan Soldiers in our hand, and we do not want that. Okay, and one hunting pack, let's see, we might be looking at... Can we pull off the round 1 scenario? No, I don't think so. Okay, so it's gonna have to be soldiers here. I think so, right? Yeah. In which case, let's go you first. Sove, immediately. Aggressive. Okay, I'm not sure what their plan is. I'm gonna get a little greedy here. I'm gonna boost it. And see if that gets it out of removal range. Don't know what their plan was for setting this up. Dandelion Vain Glory would actually be the most effective strategy at this point, I think, oddly enough. Okay, let's go here. Let's do maybe this. Let's also put you around. And I have canceled our leader ability, but that doesn't matter. The game says we will continue to use it. So apparently we will continue to use it. Ah, Morkvarg. Clever. Okay, we did, of course, put a lot of boosts on that. That makes sense. Now, I mean, they do have a status, so we could use Hunting Pack, but I think maybe we'll just Daerlan Soldiers for now. Love if Sove got destroyed, of course. I think now it has to be Hunting Pack. Means we want to switch places with you. And I'm gonna get Affan out here just so we don't end up having him brick from... No, don't go there, though. Just so we don't have him bricking from, potentially Matta. Oh, we could still play Jan, I suppose. Alright, so we shut down their Sove. So that's definitely good news. And we thinned out a lot of stuff that we wanted to thin out, so that's also good. And I think that means that we are now all in on the cultists, and we can get the scenario with Avallac'h, so that's good news. I think we dump you, and we get profit. Okay, so it's a little bit tempting to try to push here, but I think we'll still bypass. Seagull, okay. That's potentially a tiny bit of carryover for them. It's obviously all they need for this round, but they could potentially do a little bit more for throwaways. So I think we're just looking for a long round 3 to maximize our cultist value, which we can definitely do with this hand. Because we only have one non-cultist. Might settle for Bone Talisman as a finisher, but okay, Treason works too. So it's either Avallac'h first, or it's a Deacon first to turn Avallac'h into a cultist. We'll go here. Oh, Matta isn't a cultist either, but we want to play Avallac'h first. Otherwise, Matta gives us our scenario, and that means Avallac'h is bricked. Okay, Herald is what they're trying to set up here. He has Veil, of course, which is a little bit unfortunate. Let's do this. Turn somebody into cultists. That was probably not the best option, because I don't think we have any chance of getting that out, but we are praying for no Heatwave. Actually, we could have gotten rid of Herald with Treason, which we probably should have done on a previous turn. It's not going to be all that feasible anymore. Would still get okay value out of it. But let's now do this. And I suppose, yeah, we could. We could mark the seagull, I suppose. Why not, right? It's an easy target for us. Dogger. Oh, how I wish. Oh, how I wish that was in a spot where we could, ooh, do some interesting stuff. But maybe we'll settle for this then. I mean, it's still functionally more or less the same thing that we had before. Now we just play a bunch of cultists and get seagulls on our side of the board as well. We want them to play more stuff in this row, but oh, that's not good news. Okay, we can, of course, get more cultists in this melee row, which we will, I think, very much have to do. Let's lock some stuff. I don't like them shutting down our boost with the Dire Bear. Those infusions are probably not going to matter. Ooh, and the worst thing is that actually would have been a great card for us to infuse. So it is a bronze. They put it in that row as well. They probably knew that it was safe because they were going to get it locked. I don't want a Matta soon, though. Generally, though, bronze earlier the better. Yeah, this infusion doesn't work there. So we have to hold off on that, really. Or, I mean, there's a chance we'll get some value out of it. We might not get any. It's going to be Matta, Jan. It might be last, or it might be whatever we end up getting with this, with Matta, which I don't remember what it is going to be. Really want you to play something range row, though. We don't even get the damage from those guys. Ooh, that's perfect. I do like that a lot. Destroy a 15-point defender. We could settle for that. Hunter, range row? Range row. Ooh. Maybe they thought we had run out of cultists to play. I'm afraid that is not so. If they have Yurden, that would be a smart move. But, I think even that is not enough anymore. There you see it. We can, I mean, we'll do it for good measure. That was going to be the finishing move. We get a lot of boosts, and we finish the job. Alright, so going up against Scoia'tael here. And they'll go first. Okay, so we have some cultists, but no scenario. We could get that scenario at the top of our deck with Jan. Let's get rid of one of our Daerlan Soldiers. And potentially finish with the Bone Talisman, but still not loving our round one setup here. Maybe we try swapping you out as well. Well, we'll get another one. So we could make more cultists with the Deacon. It would show our hand here. They would know that we're playing a cultist deck, which is kind of nice to have that surprise. Maybe we start off with our soldiers for that reason. Okay, you're gonna get locked. But maybe we go with the Cavalry next and put that in flanking position. We'd also like to get you down soon as well. Okay, the Matron. It's not a dwarf. I suppose that wasn't either. So not entirely sure what to make of those things. Okay, Dwarven Chariots. That's more what we'd expect to see, I think. Now let's go here and get a whole bunch of Daerlan Soldiers out and keep you in flanking formation. And now you're set up and ready to go. Caretaker. And it'd be great if you would purify that or that. But now let's place Jan. So we do get that scenario at the top of our deck. Okay, Dennis. It's not a terrible option to Treason there. Might consider that. I'm thinking we will go that route. And we'd like for this round to end pretty soon here. I think we could even consider finishing with the Bone Talisman if we'd like. Because I think it might be enough for us to still overtake them here. Don't really want to be playing these guys. The armor is going to slow down the progress from this cavalry, though. Zoltan for carryover. A little bit unfortunate. Not worth a ton of points, but I think we probably do still pass here. I mean, it's within reach, I suppose, but, you know, if we go any further, we're going to have to show our hand. We could get rid of the resilience with Vincent, but I think we're looking to get rid of something that has more points than just the 4-point body on Zoltan. And now we know we're getting all the big stuff. We get Avallac'h, but we have both of our artifacts in hand, so let's actually get rid of you. And we don't want Affan in hand either. These are both of our starting additional cultists. So I'm curious to see if they play here, because, yeah, they played one more card than us. So I think this is the perfect opportunity for the Deacon. We'll use you to turn Vincent into a cultist. Won't get the chance to use that ordered ability, but I think we'll be fine. So that's all we need for round 2. And we now know that we're going to draw into all of our best cards here, because we'd already played Jan. Now, Crossbowman, I mean, not sure we're really going to get much better than that, so maybe we settle. But either way, I think we're probably going to go Eternal Eclipse first. Okay, Dwarven Chariot. Could be a little hard to break through that, but I think we will want to mark it. So let's do that. And then we could just outright destroy you. But we'll just go Master Ceremonies. Trigger that to get the infusion on all of our cultists, and now we can play our cultists however we would like to play our cultists. Okay, Zoltan, not going to destroy it, but it will hurt. Actually, the damage might destroy you. Okay, that was close. So now let's go and maybe add you. And power ourselves up a little bit more. We would like to get the crossbone down here for early damage, but at this point I think we've already done all of our soldier stuff that we're looking to do here, and we're definitely prioritizing the cultists from here on out. I imagine it's going to be Bruver, right? So what if we go maybe... Oh, first? Mark you. Then, okay, no, it's going to be you. I wanted it to be Matta, but our turn was getting close to the end, so I wasn't sure we're going to have time to actually get her in the range row, which would have been a problem. We need to play Prophet very soon, though, so that's probably going to be the next play. And it will probably slow down that Bruver, which I imagine they're hoping to get down soon. But that's unfortunate, though. It is a downside, not being able to play more cultists earlier, which is what I originally intended to do. And you're no longer in a flanking position, so we want to change that around. Okay, Berserker. That's going to get locked. Let's add Cultist. Actually, we should have gone Affan there, technically speaking. I'd like to move you, except we won't have time. Maybe we will. No, we won't. Okay, there's Bruver. So we slowed him down a little bit, because I imagine they were trying to play him on their previous turn. Have a way to put a status on you? I would love if we could. But let's go... Oh, wait, what? How did this... Ah, okay, I forgot about that. Still destroy you. So we're going to get boosted from Bruver. But yeah, we were trying to avoid having Garrison in hand, because we knew Avallac'h was going to give us that. But I missed that. Must have drawn into it in round 3, I think. Okay, so, I mean, we can still do this. But let's actually move you. Place where we want to move you. Sultan's Company in that row. Okay, and unfortunately, we've already done most of the stuff that we were looking to do here. I'll look it out, Affan, and we actually wanted to do that previously as well. I'd love to be able to play this and ideally pick the card, but we've already gotten out all of our Daerlan Soldiers as well, so that normally would be your preferred choice if you haven't already done that, but we have. So I'm curious to see if they can catch us here. Barclays, it's decent, but we will hold on for the 1-point win. Alright, so going up against Northern Realms here. And we'll go first. Alright, and we do not want to have multiple Daerlan Soldiers in our hands, so let's get rid of one of you. We do not have our Snare, so we could use Avallac'h to get it. That's fine. Can we go Soldiers round 1? Do we have enough to make that happen? Just enough, probably. Yeah? Okay. So in that case, let's do that. Let's start with you. Okay, Mushy Truffle. It's going to be for... Oh, I was expecting Reaver Hunters. That's a little bit of a surprise. Little bit of a surprise there. Dandelion Poet. And they're playing a lot of stuff in a short amount of time. Yeah, it's Caravan Vanguard Overload. They're going for it. They are going for it. Alistair's Thunder. Oh, yeah, it's going to take out one of them. Let's go Garrison and use that to get another damaging soldier out here. Might as well use this on somebody as well. Okay, teleportation to replay. Ooh, replay a damaged Caravan Vanguard. Clever move. Clever move. Yeah. Okay, let's go here. Summon all you guys out, and let's get aggressive with some leader ability charges here, I think. I mean, I'll also like to ideally move you back over the rightmost spot there. Ooh. Not loving that. Not loving that. They don't have a status either, do they? Not liking that. Not liking that. We'll have to play Jan, I think. I wanted to play Hunting Pack. You are a cultist as well, so we're losing a bit of our cultist synergies here. I'm gonna use Morale on, I'm guessing, Jan? Yeah. Still no statuses. I mean, we're probably gonna have to just brick Hunting Pack. Do this. And do this. So we'll move Jan, and that means they're at least relatively close. I mean, who knows what this is gonna be. Okay, fortunately just doomed, of course, just after we play the Hunting Pack, but now we're gonna pass here. So we thinned out the cards we wanted to thin. That's really the big benefit. Gonna reset Mushy Truffle, and that's, I don't think, enough. No, it isn't. So they are a card down, they still haven't caught us. And, oh, they pass when we are on 49 apiece. So that means we have 2 cards advantage on a sudden death, round 2, in which we are drawing to all of our best cards because we played Jan. Now we do want to dump Eternal Eclipse because we're going to get that with Avallac'h, and it's our only remaining artifact. We need to make sure we use this before we play Matta, but I think that's still feasible. Might dump Bone Talisman, especially given how this is a short round. It's going to be Avallac'h first to get this scenario going. There it is. And we can potentially even go after you. Okay, Gascon. So used to create a Renfri's gang. Do they have other Renfri's gangs? They do not. Okay, let's go after you. Not sure we're going to have enough damage to hit Renfri's gang. can do this and lock one of their last units. Oh, I suppose we could have always destroyed with Vincent. I don't really care if you banish stuff with Squirrel also. That's getting locked. If we don't Matta now, we're not going to have time to do it, so let's do it now. And that does mean it's going to trigger the last chapter of our scenario as well and get out that Peller. So now I believe everyone in our hand is a cultist. Of course, we have some specials to finish with, though. So at this point, would be quite difficult for them to catch us. Let's go, I guess, just here. And turn somebody into cultist. Don't think we're going to be able to get you out anyway. So we could remove you with Vincent, but they're just not even going to bother playing that last card. They know they can't catch us, and of course we have 3 cards to spare here. So we'll take the win. So there's a look at a Nilfgaard Cultist Soldiers deck for the new Battle Rush seasonal event. If you liked the video, then make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, and leave a comment down below. Let me know which other cards, archetypes, and factions you'd like us to experiment with next. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you next time.